What's up, everybody? It's Saturday. I think it's about 11 o'clock p.m. and gonna give you guys just a little rundown on what we got going on. So we got the shop getting there. We still have lots of stuff everywhere to sort through. We've got all our Cincinnatis kind of lined up. We've got a little Aero 750 with the achromatic control, 2100. We've got a Saber 1000, which has the old herky-jerky, is what some people call it, 850 control. This one's got a spindle issue apparently, but we haven't powered it on yet. This is the Lancer 1250 that we've had for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Great runner, solid, pretty bulletproof machine. And then we've got our little Aero 500 over here, which does a ton of most of our production work, and also has been a great little machine, also with the 2100 control. And pretty much the only one that we have that with the 750, or sorry, the 850 control, is this guy right here. And it had a smaller brother that I bought with it at the auction. I believe it was a Saber or an Aero 750, Saber 750. And I just don't have the room for it. So that one's gonna get parted out and saved for fixing this guy. But the big reason why I'm doing the video today is this big Saber 2000. So this is a pretty big size machine. I mean, if you look at this, let's see, you know, that's a fairly large machine, and I'm 6'5", and I still need a little step stool to get up to the pendant on this thing. Table's almost 8 feet wide and 3 feet deep, and what we're going to be checking out today is this guy. So I bought this machine and it said that it needed a spindle, and I said, well, I've got a few spares laying around. As you saw at the beginning of the first video, I've got an entire spindle cartridge, so this whole thing, I've got a spare, as well as I bought another one from eBay before I ended up with that other spare. So we'll go over to one of the other machines real quick and I'll show you guys. I got a headlight on so we can at least hopefully see what we're looking at. So these are air oil lubricated spindles, and if we look back here, you can see there's 2 air lines that go in the side of the spindle, and they blow air through, you know, to make a curtain and to keep the seals and everything and bearings clean of dust, and a little bit of oil to lubricate the bearings, so on and so forth. And if we come back here, actually we'll go back to the back of the big Saber here. And so there's a big drops of oil unit here. This is a timer, solenoid, oil tank, and it's got a little plunger mechanism in here, and it sends oil and air up these 2 little lines to the spindle every like 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how it's programmed. And when I got this machine, this spindle was locked up solid. I put a 4-foot breaker bar in one of the drive slots, and it moved a couple degrees, and that's about it. And let me climb up in here, tearing this thing apart, trying to see, you know, what was going on. And let me get down here and sit on the table. Don't worry, the machine's e-stopped right now, so it ain't gonna go anywhere. Okay, let's get in here. It's funny when you got a machine big enough that 6'5" and 300 pounds can climb inside. So if you look on this spindle unit, there's a a cork plug shoved in here, a cork plug shoved in here, and there's I think that's it on this one. It's just these 2. So there are no air oil lubricator lines going to this unit, and you can see the coloring on this. This is not a normal color for this spindle unit. It should be a little bit brighter than that, and I'm assuming that's because it got so damn hot. And as you can see, it does not spin at all. I can spin the motor a little bit just because the belt's still on, but if we climb up here, come on, there we go. If we climb up here, notice the 2 air oil lines are just cut. So whoever put a spindle in this last time did not know how to hook up the air oil lubricators. And, you know, I think we paid $1,100 for this machine. And I think I paid about the same for a replacement spindle. So we're going to swap it out. Luckily, the 50 taper is a grease spindle, so we don't have anything there. We just have a big chiller that cools this whole unit. There's 2 AC units in the back of the machine. And then I believe this one is an air oil lubricated, and I think this one might be a chiller. So I know one of these, actually this one has a chiller on the back. So I know one of them is a grease spindle, but if you look on this one as well, so this is out of another, this is out of a VMC 2000, which is basically an Aero 2000, so it's got a slightly different drawbar setup, but the spindle cartridge is the same, and you can see there's that same hex plug, but we now have air lines. So we're going to be yanking the spindle cartridge out of this one, throwing it in there, and getting everything back to running again, hopefully. So be careful what you buy.